You know that feeling when you just know she's thinking about you? It's not something you can explain logically, it's a pulse beneath your skin, a quiet awareness that she's there somewhere, lost in her thoughts of you. Maybe you're going about your day, and suddenly, her face flashes across your mind for no reason. That's not coincidence. It's connection. You can almost feel her hesitation, her thumb hovering above the screen, wanting to type something but holding back. You imagine her unlocking her phone, opening your chat, typing your name letter by letter, and then stopping. Deleting. Rewriting. Staring at the empty screen like it's a battlefield between her heart and her pride. And in that moment, you can sense it. She wants to reach out. She wants to ask how you're doing, if you still think about her, if the space between you feels as heavy to you as it does to her. But she doesn't. She closes the app, locks her phone, and hides behind silence, pretending it doesn't matter. And there you are, feeling it all without a single word exchanged. You pick up your phone, your instinct telling you to send something, anything, to break that quiet tension. But you don't. You fight it. You wonder why she won't just say what's clearly written between the lines of every unsent message. It's not because she's forgotten. It's not because she's cold. It's because reaching out means admitting she still feels something. That she still cares. That she's not as detached as she pretends to be. And that truth terrifies her. So instead, she hides behind silence, not realizing that her silence is loud enough for you to hear anyway. Inside her, there's a war no one else can see. It's not loud or chaotic, it's quiet, almost invisible, but it tears her apart every single day. Her heart misses you in ways she doesn't even admit to herself. It remembers the small things, the way your voice softened when you said her name, the comfort of your presence when words weren't needed, the peace she felt when you held her without trying to fix her. Her heart still replays those moments in flashes, unexpected and cruel. She catches herself smiling at a memory, then instantly feels that sting of pride reminding her, stop. Don't go there. And so she stops. She buries it deep, pretending it's gone. Her pride is the armor she wears now. It tells her she's fine, that she doesn't need you, that she's stronger without you. It convinces her that silence is control, that not reaching out makes her the one in power. But what she doesn't realize is that pride is only protecting her from the truth she's too scared to face, that she still feels you everywhere. When her heart whispers your name, pride yells over it. When her fingers tremble above the keyboard, pride pulls them back. She tells herself you'll think she's weak if she texts first. That you'll see her vulnerability as surrender. But pride doesn't heal. It only postpones the pain. Every time she silences her heart, she adds another layer to the wall between you, and that wall doesn't protect her, it isolates her. She doesn't know that her silence isn't strength, it's fear wearing a mask. Because the truth is simple and unavoidable, she misses you. She just can't admit it, not yet. She's testing the silence now. It's not random or accidental, it's deliberate, even if she doesn't fully understand why she's doing it. Silence has become her way of searching for answers without asking the questions directly. She wants to know if you'll reach out first, if you'll break before she does. In her mind, it's a quiet experiment, one that gives her a sense of control. She thinks, if he really cared, he'd text me. If he still feels something, he'd make the first move, but what she doesn't realize is that silence isn't a test you pass or fail, it's a reflection of two people trying to protect their hearts from further pain. Every time you don't reach out, she feels a mix of emotions, confusion, frustration, even curiosity. She wonders how you can stay so calm, so still. She scrolls through your social media, checks if you've been active, trying to read between the lines of your absence. She's watching, even from the distance she created. She wants to believe she's unaffected, that she's the one holding the power. Yet deep down, your calmness unsettles her. It challenges everything she expected. She thought you'd chase, thought you'd crack under the weight of her silence, thought you'd fold. But instead, you remain grounded, collected, unreadable. That quiet strength starts to work against her. The silence she used to test you slowly begins to test her instead. Because when you don't react, she's forced to sit with her thoughts, her doubts, her feelings. And it's there, in that stillness, that she starts to realize something she didn't plan for. Your calm isn't indifference. It's confidence. And the more she feels it, the more she's drawn back to it, even if she can't admit why. She's rewriting the story in her head, over and over again, like a novelist who can't settle on an ending. After you two drifted apart, she needed a narrative to survive the emptiness. So she told herself, 1, that you didn't care enough, that you weren't ready, that it was for the best. It's easier that way. Pain makes more sense when you can frame it as a lesson. But the truth doesn't always fit neatly into the stories we tell ourselves. So she keeps editing, revising, convincing herself she's fine while secretly trying to make the story hurt less. She replays your final conversation, trying to remember exactly how it ended. Did you sound cold? Did you sound done? Or did she just imagine it that way to justify walking away? Late at night, when everything is quiet, her mind drifts back to the little things, the tone in your voice, the look in your eyes when you said goodbye. And for a moment, the story she wrote starts to crack. Maybe it wasn't so simple. Maybe she was too defensive. Maybe the ending didn't have to be the end. But before those thoughts can take root, she erases them. She picks up her phone, opens your chat, then closes it again. Reaching out would mean rewriting the story completely. It would mean admitting that the version she's been telling herself, the one where she's already moved on, might have been a lie. So she stays silent, trapped between memory and pride. Her mind keeps revising, but her heart keeps remembering. And that's the part she can't escape. No matter how many times she rewrites it, every version of her story still leads back to you. She's afraid you've outgrown her. That thought alone keeps her awake at night more than she'd ever admit. When she sees you calm, collected, and quietly focused on your life, something inside her stirs a mix of admiration and fear. She starts wondering who you've become without her. Has your silence made you stronger? Have you learned to live without needing anyone's validation? It unsettles her because she once believed she knew every version of you. But now, she's not so sure. You seem different. Lighter. Centered. And that quiet transformation scares her more than anger ever could. In her mind, she plays out the what-ifs. She wonders if you still think of her, if there's still space for her in the person you're becoming. But every time she sees that you're doing well, posting less, speaking less, radiating calm, her heart tightens. She can't decide if she's proud of you or terrified that you've finally moved on. Because deep down, she expected you to crumble, to chase, to reach out. That would have confirmed that you still needed her. But when you didn't, it challenged everything she believed about love, about control, about her place in your world. Now, every glimpse of your growth feels like a quiet goodbye she wasn't ready for. She scrolls through your photos, noticing how you look more at peace, more grounded. She tells herself she's happy for you, but the truth whispers louder. You've become someone she no longer recognizes, someone she's afraid she might no longer deserve. And that's the part that hurts the most. Not your silence, not your distance, but the fear that while she's still standing in the past, you've already stepped into the future without her. Her friends are louder than her heart right now. They fill the quiet with advice that sounds empowering but feels hollow. Don't text him first. Make him miss you. He doesn't deserve your energy. She nods along, pretending their words make her stronger, but every piece of advice is another wall between what she feels and what she wants. Her friends mean well, but most of them speak from their own wounds. They project their heartbreaks onto hers, turning her confusion into a performance of strength. And she listens because it's easier to echo their confidence than to face her vulnerability. In group chats and late-night conversations, they convince her that silence equals dignity, that if she waits long enough, you'll come crawling back. But deep down, she knows that's not what she really wants. She doesn't want to win. She wants peace. She wants to stop pretending that being distant makes her powerful. Still, every time she picks up her phone, she hears their voices in her head, judging, warning, reminding her not to give in. It's not just about you anymore, it's about proving something to them. To show she can be the one who didn't break first, the one who stayed strong. So she stays quiet, even when her chest aches for your name. She hides behind her pride because admitting she still cares would mean defying the chorus around her. And in a world where everyone's watching, that kind of honesty feels dangerous. But the irony is, her friends can't feel what she does. They don't know the way her heart skips when your memory surfaces. They don't know the ache that silence brings. Only she does. Yet she buries it, one well-meaning piece of advice at a time. She thinks you've already moved on. That thought haunts her more than she'll ever admit, creeping in during the quiet moments when her mind has nowhere else to run. She looks at your profile, sees your calm, your silence, your absence of desperation, and it confuses her. You're not posting sad quotes, you're not chasing shadows, and that unsettles her. Because she expected to see your pain. She expected you to show her that she mattered by missing her out loud. But instead, you disappeared into growth. Into stillness. And that silence feels louder than any words could. In her eyes, you seem different now. Lighter somehow. More focused, more peaceful. It makes her wonder if she ever really knew this version of you, the one who doesn't react, doesn't chase, doesn't need validation. Every picture, every moment of calm she sees, becomes a small dagger of doubt. Has he really forgotten me? Has he found someone else? Does he even think of me anymore? These questions loop endlessly in her mind, and yet she never dares to find the answers. Because reaching out risks confirming her greatest fear, that you're already gone. So she sits with the illusion that you've moved on, even if deep down she hopes you haven't. She checks your updates in secret, looking for hidden meanings, tiny signs that maybe she still crosses your mind. But your silence gives her nothing. And that nothing is what eats away at her. Because regret and uncertainty are easier to carry than rejection. So she chooses silence over truth, wondering what you'd say if she finally texted. But for now, she'd rather wonder than know. Because knowing might hurt more than pretending she's okay. She's still living in her fantasy, the one she built right after things ended. It's her shield, her escape, her illusion of control. In that world, she tells herself she's happier now, freer, lighter, stronger. She posts smiling pictures, goes out more, laughs louder, hoping that if she looks healed enough, she might actually start to feel it. Maybe there's even someone new orbiting her world, someone who texts her good morning and compliments her photos. On the surface, it looks like she's moved on. But beneath it, that fantasy is starting to crack. Because the truth always does. Every new distraction feels temporary, like a song that plays too often and loses its meaning. The new attention doesn't feel like your presence did. The new voice doesn't calm her the way yours used to. She laughs, but sometimes it sounds hollow even to her own ears. When the lights go out and the noise fades, she feels the quiet creeping back in, and in that quiet, it's you she remembers. The way you made her feel seen without her having to perform, the way your silence felt safe, not distant. She tries to convince herself that this new version of life is an upgrade, a better chapter. But the truth is, it's just a pause, one she's using to delay the realization that her heart never fully left you. The fantasy is her coping mechanism, her armor against the truth that she's still emotionally tethered. And even though she won't admit it yet, deep down she knows that pretending to have moved on isn't the same as healing. It's just hiding from the ache she still carries quietly, beneath every laugh, every smile, and every post meant to prove she's fine. She's waiting for you to break first. In her mind, this is still a silent tug-of-war, a test of who cares more. Every day that passes without a message from you feels like both victory and defeat. She tells herself she's strong for not reaching out, that she's proving her worth by holding back. But when night falls and everything grows quiet, that same strength begins to feel like loneliness wearing a mask. She stares at her phone, scrolling through your old conversations, reading the last messages over and over again, wondering if you ever do the same. She types something simple, hey, then erases it, convincing herself that if you wanted to talk, you would have already. What she doesn't understand is that your silence isn't an act of indifference, it's acceptance. You've stopped fighting battles that go nowhere. You've learned that peace sometimes means letting go. And that calmness, your ability to move forward without bitterness, unsettles her more than anything else. Because she expected you to react, to chase, to crumble like before. But you didn't. You stayed still, centered, grounded. That unshakable calm has become the mirror she can't look away from. It forces her to see her own fear, her own pride, her own unfinished feelings. Slowly, the silence that once felt like control begins to weigh on her. Every unspoken word starts to echo louder in her mind until she can't ignore it anymore. She begins to realize that your calm isn't coldness, it's growth. And that realization breaks her in a way no argument ever could. Because now, she knows that the power she thought she had over you never existed. You've evolved beyond needing closure. And that quiet acceptance is what finally makes her want to reach out.